ये भारत शांति चाहता है, लेकिन अगर मानवता पर हमला होता है तो ये भारत युद्ध के मोर्चे पर दुश्मन को मिट्टी में मिलाना भी अच्छी तरह जानता है।
June 4th, 2024, exactly a year ago, marked the beginning of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's historic third term. At 74, with elections behind him and a clear mandate in hand, Modi set out to shape his legacy, anchored firmly in one message: national security is non-negotiable. In his third term, Prime Minister Modi, as destiny would have it, has reinforced India's security doctrine with decisive, outcome-oriented action. From punishing Pakistan through surgical operations to carrying out airstrikes to what we have done with Operation Sindoor now, Modi 3.0 has moved from strategic restraint to strategic clarity. No confusion, no mixed signals, just clear, bold moves. So what are these moves? This is Shubhangi Sharma. Let's dive in. At the core of Modi's popularity is his unwavering stance on national security. Even as Gujarat's chief minister, he had declared that Pakistan must be answered in its own language, criticizing the UPA government's muted response to terrorism. Since then, India has undergone a strategic transformation. It began with घर में घुस के मारना.
चुन चुन करके हिसाब लेना ये मेरी फितरत है. हम घर में घुस के मारेंगे.
In 2016, after the Uri attack by Lashkar-e-Taiba that killed 18 soldiers, India responded with surgical strikes across the LOC. In 2019, after the Pulwama terror attack by Jaish-e-Mohammed, which killed 40 CRPF personnel, India launched airstrikes on Jaish camps in Balakot. This was deep inside Pakistan. These bold moves, once considered unprecedented, now pale in comparison to Operation Sindoor, a defining feature of Modi 3.0's national security playbook. In a 4-day conflict with Pakistan, India launched an 88-hour offensive, striking 9 terror targets and 11 air bases across Pakistan using armed drones, Scalp and Hammer missiles, and the BrahMos supersonic cruise missile. This was not only a military retaliation, but an unshackling of India's old doctrine. For the first time, Pakistan's military became a legitimate target of anti-terror strikes. Pakistan's true colors, known to India for long, were exposed globally this time when it came out to defend and then avenge its terrorist groups that faced a beating from Indian bombs. Pakistan's military put its existence on the line for the terrorists. It attended their funerals and gave them assurances for protection and reconstruction. The secret was out. The act was over. If India wanted to fight terror, it must strike Pakistan's military, and that it did. 11 air bases, several other air defense and radar sites, and Pakistani posts along the LOC. India acted with impunity, and Pakistan was left scrambling, exposed and vulnerable. It failed to defend itself. Now the doctrine is permanently set in stone.
हम आतंक की सरपरस्त सरकार और आतंक के आकाओं को अलग अलग नहीं देखेंगे.
As long as Pakistan sponsors terror, its terror and military targets are one and the same to India. Its nuclear blackmail will no longer be tolerated, and it cannot take the Indus water flow for granted. No treaties, no negotiations, and no one-sided goodwill gestures. Pakistan will now reap exactly what it sows. With this, the rules of the game have been changed. And given the direction India is headed under Modi, this doctrine is only going to grow stronger, harder, and more effective. Now, if the challenge is tough, the solution will be tougher. This motto doesn't only apply to foreign enemies. Modi 3.0 is also wielding its iron resolve against internal threats, starting with India's decades-old left-wing insurgency. which India has vowed to eliminate entirely by March 31, 2026. The 58-year-old Naxal insurgency, once a dominant force across the Red Corridor, stretching over 182 districts just a decade ago, is now reduced to just 18 districts. Recently, India scored its biggest breakthrough in years, the killing of Nambala Keshav Rao, alias Basav Raju, the supreme commander of the CPI Maoist, in a 50-hour encounter. He was trained by the LTTE and was known for brutal IED attacks and ambushes, and was responsible for over 150 plus security personnel deaths. Over 30 Maoists were eliminated, including Basav Raju, in this encounter. Significantly, this mission involved the District Reserve Guard of Chhattisgarh, comprising surrendered Naxals, proof that the ideological tide had turned. According to Home Minister Amit Shah, India's approach has been four-pronged: modern warfare tactics, relentless counter-Naxal operations, choking off funding and arms supply, and moving in with development schemes and governance to win hearts of the people. The push for road and internet connectivity, elections, and financial inclusion has made a real difference in these regions. Democracy is being delivered till the last mile, and with that, Naxalism is being bled of its oxygen. National security in Modi 3.0 isn't just about warfare, it's about protecting India's demographic and territorial integrity. Since Operation Sindoor alone, that is, in less than a month, India has deported more than 2,000 illegal immigrants from Bangladesh. The strategy is simple and uncomplicated: verify their foreign status and send them packing. Hundreds have been transported on airplanes and trains to the Bangladesh border, where they are instructed to simply return to their homeland. The process is swift: identification, transportation to border camps, and repatriation via the BSF, all often within hours. No court hearings. According to a source cited in an Indian Express report, the illegal immigrants are being ferried to the borders in IAF aircraft, the Indian Air Force aircraft, from various locations and handed over to the BSF to be held in makeshift camps along the border. They are provided food and also some Bangladeshi currency if needed, and pushed back into their country after a few hours of detention. Gujarat, Delhi, Haryana, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, and the Bangladesh bordering states like Assam and Meghalaya are the states involved in this exercise so far. The success of this operation is hinged on a simple principle: once rounded up, most illegal immigrants prefer to return safely rather than be detained and go through legal battles. But there are challenges ahead. As the number of deportations grow, Bangladesh is expected to resist this measure. In fact, there is already some pushback. Brigadier General Muhammad Nazimul Dola, Director of the Military Operations Directorate of the Bangladesh Army, said at a press conference in Dhaka that push-ins are unacceptable. But for now, he says, the Bangladesh Border Guard is managing well within international protocols. Ultimately, there is little Bangladesh can do if its citizens turn up at the border gates, having decided to return to their homeland. Now you might wonder, what will India do if these immigrants return through the same channels illegally again? Now, such deportations have taken place on a smaller scale under previous governments as well. But some immigrants return undetected once the heat lowers. This time, however, the Home Ministry is collecting biometric data to prepare a blacklist of deportees who will be barred from applying for Aadhaar cards. So, this is a foolproof measure. In the wake of the Pahalgam terror attack, over 1,000 Pakistani nationals also were asked to leave India. Though the move may appear harsh, it reflects Modi 3.0's uncompromising position. National security is paramount, and there is no room for ambiguity. From cross-border strikes to domestic crackdowns, just the first year of Modi's third term has redrawn India's national security landscape. His message is loud and clear: no more warnings, no ambiguity, no hesitation, only action.